And here it is. Today we have for you the You Lose accessory set from Jada Toys. This one I'm super excited for. This is one that Jada fans have been asking for since basically the beginning of their Street Fighter 2 line. We wanted the beat up head sculpts to have in our display, and they provided this year at the 2026 San Diego Comic-Con, releasing an accessory set at the con as well as on their Jada Next Level website that included a head sculpt for all 19 characters that they have released from the Street Fighter 2 roster, as well as extra hands and accessories. So this thing is absolutely packed out and looks to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to dive into this. Let's go ahead and break this thing open and take a closer look at these head sculpts. I'll try some of these on to some figures, and then I'll give you a little wrap up at the end of some of my favorites and what I think of the overall You Lose accessory set. Really exciting exclusive from Jada Toys. Thank you for listening to your fans on this one, because this is a really cool move for wrapping up the end of the Street Fighter 2 line. And first of all, I love their exclusive packaging for these deluxe exclusives that they do. Really awesome print of the You Lose Ryu here, nice and large. You have the countdown for the continue. You also have the entire roster of defeated head sculpts here with that nice next level foil print. And what's really cool is on the back here, you have a full view of the Bangus artwork for Street Fighter 2. So just an awesome packaging here. And of course, it also has the Ultra Street Fighter Final Challenges logo, as well as, you know, all of the information here down on the bottom. Awesome packaging, loving the like gloss hit on this. Just feels really nice and premium. And then of course, when you want to take a look at the figure, you just slide off this slip cover and you get a full look at the entire You Lose accessory pack. This thing is so freaking cool. It's way bigger than I anticipated, which I don't know why I thought it would be smaller when you have to include 19 head sculpts plus additional hands and other accessory pieces. But this thing is really sick. Nice big packaging, great display of all of the heads here. You know, you can clearly see all of them and all of the additional accessories with this nice little continue print on the front. Really like that. Here, just taking a look from the outside, these are looking phenomenal. I'm liking the detail, the additional paint on all of these. And again, you're getting one for every single character release, including Violent Ken and Ryu, earlier exclusives from Jada Toys. And you know, that is really awesome. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a closer look at all of these head sculpts. So while I open these up, I do want to mention how chaotic Jada's Next Level website was when these dropped, as well as the Invincible exclusive and the Player 2 Akuma. The website was just, you know, crazy amount of traffic. You had to wait in line. All of these exclusives sold out, I believe, in like 5 to 6 minutes, which is absolutely insane and crazy for Jada Toys. Usually their exclusive figures that release at San Diego Comic-Con will be up for like multiple hours, up to a few days. So it was very surprising, the demand for this specifically. I did not get this from Jada Toys Next Level website. This is the one that I actually missed on. I was going through the waiting line and this thing actually sold out, unfortunately, before I could check out. So I did have to get this on the aftermarket and pay much more than the retail price from the Jada Toys site. That is unfortunate, but it is an amazing pack, and if you are collecting the Street Fighter line, I think it's definitely a must-have. But let's go ahead and take a closer look and break into these. I'm super excited to try these on some of the figures. Oh, and it has this little instruction here that they even include a different neck peg. If you have a later version Chun-Li, she does have a different size neck peg than earlier versions. So it's actually really cool that they included an adapter piece. So no matter which Chun-Li you have, this will be able to fit on any of the releases that they've done for Chun-Li so far. So that's actually really cool. Even just another little addition to this exclusive pack that, you know, Jada just always pays close attention to those details like that. But here is that little adapter for the Chun-Li joint, as you can see there. Where do we start with these? These are so cool. I don't want to lift this up all the way as stuff will start to fall out, but I want to give you a closer look at pretty much all of these different head sculpts and just take a look at the details, the paint, you know, because these are all completely different sculpts with additional paint as well. All right, so let me go ahead and show you each one of these. We're going to take just a quick look and I will give you some commentary as we're looking. But here is the Evil Ryu, liking the dripping blood. Of course, they have those really great yellow and red eyeballs. He has his bandana in the back, just lots of detail here. Really cool one for the Evil Ryu. We have the regular Player 1 Ryu, which is not the same sculpt as the Evil Ryu. He has the swollen, bruised eye there with some additional shading. Still has the dripping blood, looking really good. Like that a lot. You can see the detail in his teeth and his mouth and his lips. Just really clean paint apps on this. Very happy with the Ryu. Evil Ryu does come with additional hand sculpts. These sort of slightly open loose hands here to do his pose from the continue screen. So a lot of these do come with additional hand sculpts from those continue screens. Just even more value for what you're paying for this pack, which retailed at $50. And then of course Ryu has the same hand sculpts, but in the Player 1 Ryu colorway. Here we have E Honda, which is I think one of my favorite ones. Just really great detail in this sculpt. He has his underbite, the teeth are painted well. You can even see his gums there. Love the smeared kabuki face paint on his head. Just really clean. Like the disheveled bun and hair. You can even see like a little piece of hair sticking up there in the back. So that looks fantastic. Great work on the E Honda. One of my favorite characters from the Jada Street Fighter 2 line is the Blanca character, and this one looks cool. You can see his angry, snarling face, sculpted cut along the eyebrow with the blood dripping down from his nose. Mine does have a little black blemish there you can see on his disheveled hair, but really cool to see that they added like little hair pieces coming down. So these things are just really true to the sprites in the Street Fighter Ultra 2 continue screens from the game, and they're a ton of fun. Blanca does also come with additional hands as well. Again, just sort of like a loose, open hand from his continue screen. Another one of the favorites from when they showed the previews of these is the Guile. He has the lumped up, bruised side of his face, the disheveled hair, which looks a lot better in person than it did in those like close-up preview shots. He has the bloody nose and mouth, just looking really good. Again, really clean paint application on these. Really digging these new sculpts. They're really improving with every release. Even in this head pack, the sculpts are getting more detailed, just more representative, I think, and like of the game. The likeness is really good here. I'm liking that a ton. It also does come with a set of hands, just sort of slightly open, loose, defeated hands. Now this is a cool one because we don't have the figure in hand yet. He's on the way, so expect a T-Hawk review coming early next week. But this head sculpt is fantastic. The detail in the sculpt, the blood applications in the mouth dripping down the side of the head. Even his feather on the side is beat up and disheveled. Got his, hairdo just a little out of whack there. But the color of this blue is nice and vibrant. The detail on the pattern for his headband around to the little silver latch there on the side. Like, this is getting me even more excited for the T-Hawk figure. Can't wait to get that in hand. But yeah, this is looking absolutely fantastic. Really dig that one. And we move on to Evil Ken. One of my favorite figures from the Street Fighter 2 line. I just love his color and the amount of shading he has. But here he is with his, whited out eyes, lots of blood pouring down from his face. He has that open mouth there, and he has this whitish hair with yellow sort of highlights to it, so a little bit of shading there in the hair. Looking good. This is going to look really cool on the Violent Ken figure. And Violent Ken also comes with a new additional set of hands. And of course we have Player 1 Ken as well, his nice bright yellow hair. And he is just in a ton of pain, wincing in pain, tons of blood pouring down his face. So a totally different sculpt from the Violent Ken. So really cool to see that they aren't just, copy and pasting. They are staying true to these sprites. And this one looks really good. Just really painful there, Ken. Sorry that you had to lose, but happy to have the head sculpt. And Ken does come with the same You Lose hand sculpts as the Violent Ken, just in a slightly different skin tone to match your Player 1 Ken. And a fan favorite, the Chun-Li iconic crying face. Looks so good. She's scuffed up all over the place, has that big lump on her forehead, the tear trailing down her cheek. Even her buns are beat up and torn and tattered. This one is so good. This one is one of my favorites for sure. Chun-Li just looking absolutely sad for losing. And of course she comes with a secondary pair of hands so she can hold those up to her cheek in her crying pose, and that's a must-have. So happy to have these additional hands for those poses. And another head sculpt for a figure we don't have quite yet, should be arriving here very soon in the next couple months, but we have the defeated head for Zangief. He has his bulging eye, the blood just pouring down his face. You can even see this nice vein popping out. He's angry, he's ready to continue, but the detail on this is fantastic. You can see his mohawk even has little pieces of hair protruding out. His beard's a little more disheveled. So yeah, this Zangief head sculpt, really, really great. Like the T-Hawk, just getting me excited to get these figures in hand. And here we have Fei Long. Just nice detail in this sculpt and the print and the paint job. You can see his swollen eye. You can just barely open and see his pupil there. Nice detail with the blood pouring down. He looks like he's in a ton of pain with that grimacing mouth. This thing looks actually really good. I wasn't expecting for this one to look as good as it does in person, but this Fei Long head sculpt is really great. And of course, another fan favorite, we have Cammy here with her defeated expression, like she's kind of like, whew, man, I just took a beating. She has scuff marks all over her face, a little bit of dirt here and there. Even her braids, as you can see, are starting to come apart. They got pieces of hair protruding out all over. Her bang is kind of disheveled as well, and even her beret is like beat up and dirty. So yeah, awesome head sculpt here for Cammy. Really, really digging that one a lot. And of course we have DJ as well. He has that loud scream, like almost screaming expression. It looks really good. The paint on the teeth is clean. There's no like over painting, getting on any other parts of the mouth. That looks good. He has the blood pouring down his mouth as well as all over the side of his face. And of course he has his ponytail still in the back, and that expression is just devastating. Poor DJ, but looking good in this head sculpt. You can even see all the little details of the wrinkles in his brow. And DJ does come with an additional set of hands for his defeated head sculpt. So again, just another nice addition to this accessory pack. And here we have Akuma with his disheveled hair. He's missing a front tooth there. Got that knocked out clean. He doesn't have any blood, but he just has a little bit more of like a lumped up head, as you can see on his eyebrow there. Just giving a little frowny sort of expression, like, damn it, I did get beat up, I did lose, but this one doesn't have a lot of battle damage or anything like that. This is the one that probably cracked me up the most from the game sprite, that is the Doll Sim, where he wasn't like bloody or cut up. He's just completely lumped up all over his face like he got stung by 100 bees. But they did a really great job representing that on-screen look for him here in figure form. He does have a little bit of blood coming out of his mouth, but you can see he's just totally lumped up. Has his nice little silver earrings, looking really good. This one is maybe one of my favorites. And Dalsim also comes with additional hands for his continue screen, like that. And now we are getting to the final bosses. Of course, we have M. Bison, just looking absolutely menacing. This is an iconic look from the game and artwork. He has the blood, like almost looks like it's pouring out of his eyes, but just blood running down his face, looking super evil with that evil grimace on his, in his mouth. He just looks super menacing. This is definitely going to be the default head sculpt for my Bison moving forward. And one of my favorites from the game, another iconic look, we have the beat up Sagat head sculpt with the blood pouring out of his mouth, but he still has that evil grin on his face. He's got the cut to his head with the blood pouring out, just looking so damn evil. Sagat looking really cool. This one is probably going to make it as one of the defaults for my shelf as well. And he does come with additional Yulus, just sort of, loose open hands here to complete that look. And one of my favorites, just because of the amount of detail, is the Vega defeated head sculpt. He has the disheveled hair. You can see all the different pieces like over his face, even down into his ponytail. You can see it starting to kind of come unraveled. He's just super beat up. His eyes closed shut, tons of blood splattered all over his face. But the reason why this is one of my favorites is because they provided tons of extra stuff for him, including his cracked face there, his cracked mask, which is really cool, as well as his bent up claw. Just iconic look for Vega on the Yulus or on the continue screens. So really, really love that. Really like that they added so much to the Vega. And last but not least, we have another one of my favorite figures from the Street Fighter line, the Balrog. And this thing is really clean. The sculpt on this is fantastic. I'm loving all the detail, like as you can see in the cheekbones, the swolled up eye and eyebrow with the purple paint on there. Looks really clean. He's got the blood coming out of his mouth. He just looks dazed and confused. And this one is just so well done. Definitely up there with one of my favorites from this line. Yeah, super good. And that's not it, because they also included the beat up, torn up gloves from the Balrog continue screen, and these things are really detailed, really weathered. These things look fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a second Balrog figure, I think, to have one in his beat up form, because this Balrog continue set is fantastic. But if you are a fan of this line, if you do have the full collection, this thing is a must have. Will Jada release or restock these in the future? There's really no saying. They really are not in the habit of doing that with San Diego Comic-Con exclusives and things of this nature. It would be nice for collectors to get additional chances to get these things, but I don't know if that's something they're going to do, as they're currently moving on to the Alpha 3 line. So, if you can find this for a decent price on the aftermarket, I say grab it, because this is a phenomenal pack that is a ton of fun and is just going to add a lot of value and display value for your collection of Street Fighter 2 stuff from Jada. Some of my favorite ones for sure, I think, are going to be the M. Bison, the Sagat, the Guile, and the Zangief is fantastic as well. Kind of hard to choose favorites, honestly. All of these are really great in their own right. The Chun-Li is iconic. Like, they're all done super well. So kind of hard to choose, honestly, which are my favorites. But if you enjoy these, keep an eye out. Try to pick these up if you can. And again, you might just need to wait a little bit longer to see this maybe dip slightly under the $100 aftermarket price. And, you know, unfortunately, this was hard to get on the Jada website. But if you did get one, congratulations, because this is a fantastic accessory pack for the $50 retail. And here's a look at some of my favorite from the pack. They look awesome on these figures. As you can see, just a ton of fun. Great display for your shelf with all of these Yulu's head sculpts. Heck, I might have to buy multiples of some of these characters just to have one of each on the shelf if I can make room. Now, there are some things that I do want to point out as I was putting these head sculpts on. I did notice that some of them, not all of them, are actually painted. They're not molded in the plastic as the original character was, so it might be kind of hard to see here. But like Balrog, you can see a bit of a color shift from the head to the plastic, as well as the fully painted heads like this have a much more matte sheen than the body. You know, not a huge difference. I think it still works well as you're seeing them from a distance, but there are some like the Bison and the E Honda. Those are also fully painted head sculpts. They're not molded in the plastic. I did notice a few other ones like the Chun-Li, the Fei Long, the Zangief, the T-Hawk are painted head sculpts, and then other ones like the Sagat, the Blanca, the Vega, the Akuma. Some of them are actually molded in the original plastic and should have no problem matching their original color. Like the Sagat here, might be kind of hard to see, but this one is not painted skin tone. It is molded in the same plastic, so this one matches spot on. Another example of a painted one is the M. Bison. This is a fully painted head sculpt, so he is just a slightly different shade than his original skin tone and more of a matte finish, but if you're looking closely, you can definitely notice it. So I'm not sure why some went the route of being fully painted rather than molded in the skin tone plastic, and others like the Cami was molded in the original skin tone. So some of these are going to match a lot closer than others, but it's not a huge difference. Mainly it's in the sheen. Like the painted ones are much more matte than the molded plastic of some of the original figures. But yeah, these things are just a ton of fun. I'm going to have a great time setting up my display with some of these Yulu's head sculpts. Let me know in the comments below if you grabbed one, if you're as excited about these as I am. And I also have T-Hawk coming in early next week that we will be doing a full review for, and I will also be adding this head sculpt to. We have the Player 2 Akuma on its way as well, so can't wait to get that in hand and do a full review once it arrives. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for spending some time with me here today, and I will catch you in the next one.